Using native HTML validation is the focus of this video. Please note that as of June 2017, all major desktop and mobile browsers support the use of native HTML validation. While there are many possibilities, this video will focus on only three: HTML data types for inputs, the required attribute, and the use of the pattern attribute. In this video, I will implement this type of validation into a registration form. In the registration form, we will ensure that all four inputs have the correct data type. The client first name and client last name fields are both text types. This is the default if not specified, but we will include them for clarity. The client email input is of course type email. By specifying the type, the browser knows the type of data that should be entered into the field. Finally, the client password field should be of type password. This will cause the browser to replace the actual text characters with bullets to prevent somebody from observing your password. For this video, I have changed the password type to text, so that you can see the password and see what happens as I enter various passwords during the validation implementation process. All four visible inputs of the form are required, so I will add the required attribute to each input. My editor wants to add an equal sign with quotes after the attribute, which are not needed, so I will delete this additional code when my editor adds it. Finally, I want to impose a specific requirement on the password. The password must be at least 8 characters long and possess at least one capital letter, at least one number, and at least one special character. I will be sure to indicate these requirements in the form so the user knows in advance. By requiring these things but not telling the user in advance is a sure way to make site visitors angry. I will do so in a span and then style the text to be smaller than the other surrounding text. Finally, I will add the pattern attribute to the password input. The pattern attribute is only needed when you are imposing special requirements on an input. The value for the HTML pattern attribute is a JavaScript regular expression. The JavaScript regular expression to force the requirements already mentioned is shown in the video code. With the code in place, I will save the view and run my application until the view appears in the browser. Now I will test my client-side validation. First, try submitting the form empty. Notice that the browser will not allow it. I will place values in both of the name fields and submit again. Both names are okay, but now the email shows as needing a value. This time I will type just a word and submit. The notification now indicates the need for the @ symbol. I will supply an email address now and submit again. This time I see a message for the password field. I will intentionally go through a number of variations of the password and submit. Each time you will see that the browser refuses, indicating each time that the password does not meet the required pattern. Finally, I will match the pattern and submit. This time the form will submit successfully. Be sure to change the password input type back to password after testing. As you can see, with relatively little effort, the requiring of data and correct forms of data can be imposed using basic HTML.